How's it going? My name is Jumpy. In my last video, I watched a Stephen King movie adaptation, and I'm continuing the trend this week. Today, I'm going to talk about The Monkey, the 2025 film written and directed by Osgood Perkins. The movie is about a toy monkey with a drum. Once somebody turns the key, the monkey hits the drum with their drumsticks, and then someone dies in a freak accident. In 1999, there are two twin boys, Hal and Bill. Hal is the younger brother and main character. Bill is his older brother and is constantly an asshole. Their mom is named Lois, and she's played by Tatiana Maslany. Their dad is an airplane pilot that left them. We got to see him briefly in the movie's opening scene, trying to get rid of the monkey. And he's played by Adam Scott from Hellraiser 4. The boys go through their father's things that he acquired in his travels, and they find the supernatural monkey, which can teleport but cannot be destroyed. Bill turns the key and the monkey starts drumming. Afterwards, their babysitter, who's named Annie Wilkes as a nod to the character in Misery, takes the twins to a restaurant and she dies there. Hal puts together what's going on and gets tired of Bill's shit and turns the monkey's key, hoping that Bill will be the next victim. Instead, his mom Lois dies. Bill tries to destroy the monkey. They go live with their Uncle Chip, played by the movie's director, and Aunt Ida in Maine, and the monkey follows them. They throw the monkey down a well, and the movie skips ahead 25 years to 2024. Hal, now played by Theo James, gets to spend time with his son Petey, who he only sees once a year by his own choice, because he thinks being around will have a negative effect on the kid. He goes to pick up his son from Petey's mother and a guy named Ted, who's played by Elijah Wood. He's a parenting advice expert and author, and he's going to adopt Petey and cut Hal out of the kid's life entirely. In the meantime, Hal gets an entire week to spend with his son. Unfortunately, the monkey is back and people start dying again, so Hal takes Petey to go deal with it. I kind of love this movie. It's very silly and I wasn't expecting that. It's very consistent. You'll know within the first 10 minutes if the monkey is for you or not. The opening scene with Adam Scott alone should do it, but knowing that tone continues past that is important. Personally, I thought it was amusing and it made me smile for the first half. And occasionally, I thought something was hilarious. But around the halfway point, it just became so much funnier and more enjoyable to me. There's a plot development that surprised me, and I was fully on board from that part forward. Something that stood out to me pretty early on is the shot compositions. In several scenes, there's a lot of empty space above the characters' heads in the frame. Last week, I watched Backrooms. I thought it was alright. I'm not the most enthusiastic about it, but I liked it more than I thought I would, and I'd watch it again. The reason I'm bringing it up is because it was shot like The Monkey at times. And I looked it up. The director of photography on Backrooms was also the second unit director of photography on The Monkey. And that made a lot of sense to me. I don't think this framing is bad. It was just very noticeable to me in these two movies. For The Monkey, I also like the lighting and its style. There's one particular shot I want to mention, which is when the camera stays on the monkey's hand when it's drumming. The shot tilts up and down with the hand and the drumstick in the foreground as it hits the drum. That was amazing and such a fun visual. I think the movie has a really good script. I love the subtle foreshadowing, like there being a boomerang in Hal and Bill's dad's closet, and then the mom dying of a very rare boomerang aneurysm. And there are a few other cases of this where it caught me off guard because I didn't think it was something that was going to be important and come back later. One is a random joke that's funny on its own, but then it gets paid off and is much more satisfying. And there are little things too, like repeating dialogue. My favorite examples of this are when Hal uses phrases that his mom taught him, which is also sweet because she meant a lot to him. Yes, despite how ridiculous this movie is, there are still some real emotions. There are some serious moments between Hal and Petey that work. Like Petey calling his dad out for lying or reminding him how little time they have left together. Lastly, I want to talk about the horror elements of The Monkey. There are a couple creepy dream sequences with people in monkey masks. Aside from that, some of the accidents are pretty cleverly set up like it's a Final Destination movie. And those are entertaining. The violence is sudden and surprised me multiple times. But it's funny rather than trying to be scary. And then things like the overdramatic horror music are played for comedy. Like a shot when the monkey appears back in Hal's room when he's a kid. Overall, I really enjoyed The Monkey. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Proceed with caution, knowing that you're getting a silly comedy with a lot of death in it. It might not work for you, but it did for me. Thank you so much for watching.